Hello and welcome to the Astrology Forecast. My name is Sage. Here's your eye into the sky, letting you know what the cosmic events are for the week, why they matter, and how you can use this information in your everyday life. I hope you're all enjoying a beautiful week. Definitely a historic one, as we had not only the sun enter Aquarius last week, but also Pluto, which was pretty momentous as it was the first time that Pluto has entered the sign of Aquarius since the late 1700s, 18th century, you guys. Long time ago. Pluto takes over 250 years to move through all 12 signs of the zodiac. So, a lot of significance with this past week. So I hope everybody is looking forward to seeing what Pluto has in store for us. If you're curious to understand more about that, make sure you go ahead and check out last week's forecast, as I did do a whole description about that back on last week. And of course, happy Aquarius season to all of my Aquarius babies out there. Announcement, I am, of course, offering 50% off of all Aquarius solar return chart readings. This is a birthday reading that looks at the chart for only 1 year of your life, from one birthday to the next. And it's an amazing way to get a sneak peek of what you can expect for the next 12 months. If you're interested in booking one of these for either yourself or a loved one, I do also offer gift certificates if you're looking to gift this as maybe a birthday gift to an Aquarius in your life. The link is down below, especially if you are booking it for yourself. And again, if you are interested in booking it for a loved one, hit the link below. It will bring you to my link tree, or just simply go to my Instagram and you can DM me and we can definitely arrange to get you a gift certificate to gift to a loved one. Another announcement really quickly before we get started. Again, Utah retreat this summer is going to be a stargazing experience underneath the dark sky. Really looking forward to co-hosting this with Soulflower Yoga Wellness. If you are interested in joining us July 31st through August 5th, the information is down below. Hit the link below. It'll bring you to my link tree. You can click on the link that says Stargazers Utah Retreat. And if you're interested, you can fill out the registration form. And last but not least, if you've been coming to my channel and finding value, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. My goal is to reach 100 subscribers as quickly as possible. So please help me in reaching my goal with that. And if you are getting value from these videos and enjoying them, please go ahead and hit the like button, and make sure if you would like to share your information or your feedback on these different forecasts, you can always go ahead and comment. I love reading the comments. It just builds a lot of community, and I love to hear what you think about the weekly cosmic events. So let's get started. We have three major cosmic events happening for this week. Venus is entering into Capricorn. We have a full moon in Leo, and the planet Uranus is stationing direct in Taurus. So stay tuned till the end to hear about all three of those cosmic events. Okay, so the first cosmic event of the week is happening on Tuesday, January 23rd. This is Venus entering into Capricorn. Now, Venus has been in the sign of Sagittarius ever since end of December. And while Venus was hanging out in this fire-loving sign, it definitely was encouraging us to have fun, spice things up in our relationships, and say yes a little bit more. This was a really great time to maybe to go on a spontaneous trip with a loved one, a friend, a partner, and just really enjoy the experiences that love can bring. Now that Venus is moving into Capricorn, it's time to settle down. It's time to get serious. Capricorn is an earth sign, and it is the earth sign that is focused on ambition and achievement and getting the job done. Capricorn loves efficiency, and it loves reaching the top. So, with Venus in Capricorn, we're getting a much different energy. Now, a little bit of breakdown, of course. Venus, the planet of value. Easy way to remember it. Venus is all about the things we value, that which includes love and money. So, Venus is, of course, the planet of things that are aesthetic and romantic and pleasing to the eye, to the touch, to the taste, to the smell. Venus loves it all, right? She's the planet of art and beauty. And of course, Venus has a large influence over our love life and our relationships in our life, right? Both romantic as well as platonic. Now, as Venus moves through the zodiac, of course, I encourage you all to look at what house you have Capricorn in, because, of course, this will affect your experience with Venus and it'll help you to understand where this energy is showing up in your life specifically. Of course, if you're interested in understanding this in depth, you can always book a personal monthly reading with myself. This again is the link below. And this is another way that you can learn about where these planets are going to be showing up for you each and every month. But again, moving back into Venus being in Capricorn, this is a much more serious energy. It's time to get grounded in these relationships that might have been blossoming while Venus was in Sagittarius. Venus was in Sagittarius around the holidays, beginning of the new year. You might have gone on a trip with a loved one, had a vacation, maybe a family reunion, right? So a lot more travel might have happened. But now that we're getting into the thick of the winter season, and it's much more of that hibernation time, it's a beautiful opportunity now for us to really settle in. So this is great that Venus is entering into Capricorn because it allows us to get a little bit more serious in our partnerships. This is a great time to look at the long term, which I'm about to get into actually. So what I want to go through now is three different ways that you can work with the energy of Venus being in Capricorn. So, the first thing that I really recommend you do is to set high standards. Capricorn is the sign that deals with upward mobility. Capricorn loves to ascend to the top. This is the CEO of the zodiac. And so, with Venus being in Capricorn, we want that same energy for our relationships. And this doesn't just go for relationships with other people, this also goes for relationships with yourself. So, pay attention to how you love on yourself, how you love on your friends and family, on your partnerships in your life, and set higher standards for yourself. And those around you, right? This is again the opportunity to really see what it is that you want long term. Capricorn is not here for the cheap thrills. Capricorn is not Sagittarius, right? It's not spontaneous. It's not in the here and now. Capricorn is much more about that which is timeless. And so set those standards that you know will last a long time. Which leads me to number two. Second piece of advice I will give you guys for Venus being in Capricorn is to look at the long term vision, right? Again, this goes for relationships with yourself and others. This is an opportunity to really analyze where are these relationships going? What is their worth? Again, in an earth sign, we're looking at the tangible quality, the practical use. So we're setting goals that are practical in nature and that we can actually see happening in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, right? We're looking down the road. We're not just looking 3 feet ahead of us, but we're looking 30 feet ahead of us because Capricorn knows that we need to reach the top of the mountain, right? This is the mountain goat reaching the top of the mountain, taking each step it needs to take. And so plot out the steps you need to take, whether this be to cultivate more self love within your life, maybe more love in your life, maybe more art and beauty, more romance, more pleasure, more connections. This is all the things that Venus rules over. But in Capricorn, we're getting real, we're getting serious, we're getting down to earth, and we're really looking at what grounds us. Is it the connections in our life, with the women in our life, or the men in our life, or the children in our life? Is it the connection with ourself? Is it the connection with our things, right? Again, earth sign, it's okay to love your tangible things, right? Your clothes, your car, your fuzzy blankets, your soft cozy robe and slippers. It's okay to enjoy those things. It's the middle of the winter season, so appreciate those things for what they are. This is what Venus in Capricorn is encouraging us to do. And again, setting those long-term goals is really going to satisfy this energy. Now, the third piece of advice I will give is to take action on those goals. In fact, I really encourage this because not only is Venus in Capricorn right now, but Venus is joining the likes of both Mars and Mercury. Now, this is excellent because Mars is actually exalted in Capricorn, meaning it does the absolute top tier best in this sign. And Mercury does really great in Capricorn because it's a grounded earth sign, which is excellent for communication purposes. And so, with Venus joining both of these planets in Capricorn, we're getting this buildup of Capricorn energy, which is excellent for getting the job done, especially in the area of relationships, as Mars is going to encourage Venus to take action. So, we're really wanting to do something about these goals that we set. which is excellent because what good is a goal if we don't take action on it, right? They say you should take action within 48 hours of any goal that you set. Otherwise, it's more than likely going to be a flop. And Capricorn, again, has high standards, right? We don't tolerate flops. And so, again, beware that there can be some perfectionism here in relationships. Be conscious of that. Not everything has to go perfect, but everything should be up to par to some degree. That might be something we come across. Capricorn is also, of course, the sign that deals over anything that involves like finances, and of course things of tangible value goes right hand in hand with Venus being the planet of value. So we might feel more motivated around our finances, around our creativity. It's an excellent time to maybe create new sources of income, or just maybe again create more stability in your relationship. Either way, Venus and Capricorn, really great time to get serious, get grounded, and start thinking long term about your goals, both with the relationship with yourself as well as the relationship with other people. Now, Venus is going to be in Capricorn until February 16th. So, again, I highly recommend you check out what house in your birth chart you have this sign, as it'll give you a lot more personalized understanding about where this is showing up for you. Venus can also bring money, by the way. So, it's really cool to see where Venus will be showing up. As it might actually help you understand when is a good time to take action on investments or creating a savings plan, anything involving money or love. Venus does rule over that. And last piece of advice I want to give, if you are a Capricorn rising, as you guys know, Venus is the planet of all things aesthetic and beautiful. So I always love to take special time to remind all of the Capricorn risings that Venus will be in your first house. It'll be crossing over your rising, which will therefore make you feel really photogenic, really aesthetic, really attractive. I always find that whenever Venus goes through my first house, I want to buy new clothes, redo my hair, get a makeover, feel more feminine if you're a girl, or just feel more attractive in general, right? Doesn't matter what gender you identify as, but it's really just about embodying your personal style, and having fun with it and really letting it shine and come through. So, just a quick piece of advice again, if you are a Capricorn rising, it is your time to shine. So, enjoy these next few weeks while Venus is moving through the sign of Capricorn. Okay, now the second cosmic event of the week is happening on Thursday, January 25th. This is a full moon in Leo. Now, this is actually the first full moon of 2024. So, this is pretty exciting as it's kind of the most peak energy we have experienced so far this year. Now, a little bit of basics about what a full moon is. A full moon is simply when the sun is in one sign and the moon is in the opposite sign. So currently we are in Aquarius season, which means that the sun is in Aquarius. And the opposite sign of Aquarius is Leo, which means that when Thursday the 25th rolls around, the moon will be in Leo. Now, what this means is that we have an opposition, a push pull, kind of like a tug of war between the sun and the moon. Now, if we think about the themes of Aquarius season that we've been experiencing ever since it entered into Aquarius season back on January 20th, we know that Aquarius is all about the greater mission, the cause, the collective, right? The Aquarian, the true definition of the Aquarian is the rebel rouser, the one that fights for the revolution and for freedom and for justice and for a cause, and it's the humanitarian. Aquarius is the thinker, the intellect. And again, it's much more collectively focused. It's a bit more detached and much more cold. It's the sign that wants to save the world, not necessarily be a part of the world. Now, as this moon moves into Leo, we're getting a completely different energy. Opposite of Aquarius is Leo, the sign of the sun, right? Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, the coldest planet, while Leo is ruled by the sun, the warmest planet. So automatically we get this huge difference, right? This huge contrast between this cold sun, sounds weird to say, right? And a warm moon. Now, actually, this is very contrasted because the sun is actually in its detriment, while the moon is not in its detriment, but the moon is certainly in a sign that's different from, let's say, its home sign of Cancer, right? Leo is much different. But the moon and Leo is actually a pretty interesting combination and a very fun and very warm one. So it kind of actually warms us up during this winter season. There's a reason for everything. And so Moon and Leo, Lots to look forward to with this. Pay attention to how the energy for you starts to peak. Definitely look at where you have Leo in your birth chart, as this is where you're going to be feeling much more emotionally drawn. And as I always say, I typically start to feel the energy of a full moon, as a lot of us do, a couple days beforehand. So if you're starting to feel this energy of the full moon, as we know, full moons are a time of culmination. This is a peak moment when the moon is at its brightest, and so we really get this illumination of all of these lunar themes. Now, the moon is all about our emotions, it's our personal self, it's our quiet side. The moon is something that we don't share with a lot of people, right? So it's not something that we feel as comfortable with being so illuminated. This is why full moons often can make us feel more crazy, more, I don't know, more weird sometimes. That the word lunatic literally comes from the word luna, which is moon. And so there's a weirdness in the air. And again, the sun in Aquarius is, of course, enhancing that weird energy. But weird can be a good thing, right? Weird can be a fun thing. Weird can be different and intriguing, which again is why Aquarius loves it. Now, with the moon in Leo, let's talk about three different ways we can really work with this energy. So, number one is to allow the light of this bright Leo moon to outshine the darkness during this winter season. It's a darker time, it's a much more solemn time. This is a moment of brightness. This is the warmth of the sun sign of Leo coming through in the moon. And so, what I love about Leo energy is it is known for courage and bravery. And so, big piece of advice, the first thing I will say is squash fear. This is that moment at the very beginning of 2024, as we have all these planets entering into signs that are all about progress and innovation. We get this full moon in Leo that's like, yes, encouraging us to feel brave and to have courage in moving through whatever potential fears might be in our way, right? There's nothing to say that a cause doesn't have some roadblocks, some obstacles. But with the moon in Leo, we feel this swelled up sense of pride and loyalty and duty to go ahead, to take action, to move forward with whatever that goal is, with whatever that collective mission is. Again, it's opposing that sun in Aquarius. We are focused on the greater mission ahead. That is what Aquarius is here to do. It loves a good cause. And so the moon comes in and it's like, yeah, let's actually do something about this. It's a fire sign. It wants us to take action. Leo is fixed fire. It's that fire that burns evermore, right? It's that indefinite fireplace. And so this is an amazing opportunity to feel that sense of courage that we need to take action on that greater cause. So that is number one. Number two is the shadow side of Leo, right? We always got to identify both. Where there's light, there's also dark. You cannot have one without the other. Now, the shadow side of Leo energy can be trauma. Now, remember, the moon is, of course, our emotions. Full moons bring out our emotions even more so, right? It brings it right to the surface. They illuminate, full moons literally illuminate our emotions. Sometimes it can shine a light on the things that we don't want to look at, right? Those skeletons in the closet. And so the shadow side of the Leo full moon can be drama, dramatic emotional displays. If you feel embarrassed, if your pride has been poked at, again, this is like poking the lion. Now, the lion's heart is amazing. That's where we get the courage. But the lion's roar is just as scary. And of course, in a fire sign, we want to be careful not to get burnt. And so pay special attention to how you express your emotions, as Leo is the sign of self expression. And so we might feel a lot more inclined to say how we feel, to speak our emotions. And while we always want to speak our truth, we want to be aware that sometimes this can come out as dramatic emotional displays, which can be great in making a point, but just be careful about the delivery. And the third piece of advice to give on this Leo full moon is to tap into your creative side. One thing I love about Leo energy is this is the sign of creativity and wanting to express who you are and your creative potential. And so we're really getting this lunar activation for us, as the moon can really tap us into our soul. And so having fun, which of course is big Leo energy, and enjoying yourself, allowing that enjoyment to translate over to your creative ambitions. Or this could be something that you create for the greater collective, or it could be something you create for yourself. And again, this is kind of that juxtaposition we're experiencing with the sun in Aquarius opposite to the moon in Leo. Is we have this Aquarius Leo axis, which is all about the self versus the collective. Leo being the sign of self, while Aquarius is the sign of the collective. And so this is a moment during Aquarius season to fill your own cup. Fill your creative juices up. The moon is our emotions. We're going to feel more inclined to have fun, to tap into our inner child. As again, Leo's also the sign of inner child and fun. And so enjoying yourself will allow your creative juices to flow. This will in turn help whatever that Aquarian cause is that you're looking towards, that you're working towards, that you're fighting for. And it'll really just rev it up with that more juicy lunar energy that's much more creative in nature. So, a really good opportunity to just take advantage of the full moon in Leo. Feel proud, feel courageous, tame the drama, and allow that creativity to flow. And last but not least, our third major cosmic event of this week is happening on Friday, January 26th. This is Uranus going direct in Taurus. Now, Uranus is what's considered to be an outer planet. It's beyond Saturn, and so its effects are felt much more collectively and a bit more removed than, let's say, a personal planet such as Venus, Mercury, or Mars, or the moon, or the sun. Um, you're going to feel the effects of Uranus on a larger scale. It's not going to be as immediate nor as personal, of course, depending on how it is showing up and aligning in your birth chart, which is why it is so important to get a reading. But Uranus going direct in Taurus is a really great time to look at the Taurus house in your birth chart. This is because Uranus is the planet of innovation and ingenuity. Uranus, I always call it kind of the WTF planet because it can deliver shocking events, surprises. Again, Uranus loves to shake the pot a little bit, stir things up. And so Uranus, you can't always be, certain what's going to happen, right? There's kind of an uncertainty here, but there's a spirit of freedom and rebellion and innovation and progress. And this is really the beautiful side of Uranus. Now, Uranus being in Taurus, this has been a long-term energy. We've been feeling this since 2018. So this is nothing new, but it has been retrograde for the past few months. So now that it's gone direct, this is a great opportunity to look at what you are looking to change in the area of your life that is ruled over Taurus. Again, look at where you have Taurus in your birth chart. Look at where change is likely to occur. Be ready. This is where we arm ourselves with awareness. That's why we listen to these forecasts. Know that it's likely that change is going to occur in this part of your life. And this is also going to be accompanied by progress, by innovation. You might feel an innovative or even like an ingenious spark of creativity or just inspiration to make some changes, to do things differently, to go against the grain. That's what Uranus loves to do. And of course, this is a beautiful alignment with the similar energy we're experiencing with Pluto being in Aquarius. These are two fixed signs, but these are both signs, that are looking for growth. And of course, Pluto and Aquarius is a whole nother conversation, but it definitely is this energy of innovation, which again is what Uranus is all about. And Uranus in modern astrology actually rules over Aquarius. So, really cool how Uranus is going direct the same week that Pluto actually entered into Aquarius. And, again, just paying attention to where you have Taurus, knowing that this is going to be a long term energy with Uranus now going direct. In fact, later on into the year, in April, Uranus will actually be making a conjunction with Jupiter. That's actually one of the biggest cosmic events of 2024. More on that, of course, as we get closer to it. But really look at Taurus in your chart as this is a house that's going to get a major spark of energy and more than likely an energy of change. So be ready for that. Uranus will be direct in Taurus all the way until September 1st. So again, a pretty big week. Definitely, coming off the heels of entering into Aquarius season, we now have Venus and joining the ranks of both Mercury and Mars in Capricorn. So we've got some planets in Aquarius, some planets still in Capricorn. So a lot of energy in those two places in your chart. Again, if you're looking into booking a reading if you're interested in a 50% off solar return reading if you're an Aquarius, go ahead and hit the link below. And thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate the love and support. If this video was of value to you, please go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like to stay up to date with all of the weekly cosmic events, hit the notification bell so you will be notified every single time I make a new upload. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful week. And as always, I will catch you all again on the next forecast.